97.1 FM, The Morning Drive. He's playing the Improv this weekend in Schaumburg. I got to know him from Rescue Me. He's the only guy I know that would dump Edie Falco.
Officer Morelli. Your phone broken?
What are you doing here?
I don't know. I figure you get to visit me at work. I thought maybe
Yeah, not a good time.
It's our good friend, Adam Ferrara. Very good to see
pal?
you.
Nice to be back. Good to see you again.
Welcome back to Chicago, man.
Yeah,
you
good.
spend a lot of time here. I love it.
I do. It's one I really like. I like your city. I don't like your traffic. That's why I'm a little late. Please excuse me. Apparently, coming in, they drove us in from Schaumburg to do the show, and I was in some funeral procession because nothing was moving. I didn't even know the guy who was dead in front of me.
That's the Kennedy man.
Wow.
That's how it works.
Wow.
You're a New York guy. You're used to traffic, right?
Not like this.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's-
this is just when you live in the city, it's all mass transit. You know, it's the subways
Right.
and cab, and
Yeah.
mostly walking in
Yeah.
New York. Here, you can't walk here. You can, and apparently, green means hunk to you friggin' people.
Yes, it does. Everybody's honking. But driving in on the Kennedy from Schaumburg is always bad.
Yeah.
And you get caught up near that tollway. It's called Cumberland, where there's 15 lanes that go into 3.
Yeah, it's like the chariot scene in Ben-Hur. It's just every man for himself.
Are you hanging out at the Woodfield Mall? You're going to get yourself a locker where you're mauling back in the day?
Is that the one that's across the street from where the club is? Is that what's
Yes,
called?
yeah.
Yeah, I like that place. There's a Whole Foods there because, you know, we've been friends for a while. You know my wife, I married a hippie, so
Yes.
now it's like everything is a Whole Food. The peanut butter, because I can't have peanut butter anymore. So the natural peanut butter, you know, when you open it up and there's a BP oil slick on top.
Yes.
And I'm like, honey, you go, well, you have to stir it. I'm like, well, I didn't realize I have to do their job. I work for these people now and finish what they were supposed to do. Skippy never had a problem.
Never.
Skippy was
Peter
always
Pan.
ready.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
You come home late at night, I hear Skippy in the closet like, you're high again. Be quiet, Skippy. You're going to wake everybody up.
My wife is the same way. It's got to be organic and from Whole Foods. I can't afford Whole Foods anymore.
Oh, yeah, it's expensive, but, you know, at least it tastes lousy. You know what we eat a lot about? The quinoa? You eat that?
Where was quinoa when we
I
were
don't
growing?
know. It's a superfood, which I guess is a food that fights crime. I don't know what a superfood is, but I never pronounce it right. Sometimes I call it quino, and my wife hates that because I'll take the lid off the pot and I'll just go, "Hey, quino."
Quinoa and kale. How about kale?
Yeah,
That was a big
the
thing.
kale chips.
It smells like feet. I
If
don't
you've
get
never
it.
had a kale chip, just lick a lawnmower blade.
My wife buys those nonstop. I don't get it.
$9 a bag.
Oh, it's
She bought a
just-
dehydrator. I'm not making it up. My wife bought a
Oh, no.
dehydrator.
Who's got time for that?
I don't know. You're supposed to put an overnight. You have kale chips. I go, what if we don't? I put beets in there once. It looked like a crime scene because it was all red, and it was like, this was a mistake.
When did people start eating this type of food?
I don't know.
My grandmothers, both of them lived to be 95. They didn't have kale chips growing up.
My great-grandmother drank Boilermakers. She put a shot
yeah.
of whiskey and half a beer and
Right.
drank those. It's a little cold. You want a blanket? No, get the whiskey.
One of my uncles, his nickname was Smokey. He would drink bourbon every day and smoke. Lived in 92.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what kind of life was it? Towards the end.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Wheezing and hacking. Who needs all my liver?
Adam Ferrara in studio with us. Nurse Jackie. You know, I love that show. I keep telling people, if you haven't watched it, start watching it on...
I think she's on drugs.
well, yes. Yeah, I'm waiting for you to turn up this season. Are you done?
The
final season.
I'm not at liberty to say if you watch
can't
the show.
say.
Yeah.
I think I found online that it's probably not going to happen.
Hey, you said it, I didn't.
Tell me about the bedroom scenes with Edie Falco.
Nerve-wracking. I will tell you this: I was very self-conscious when Frank first kisses Jackie. I was very self-conscious about my breath. I was just panicking, so I ate an entire box of Altoids before we shot it. But it was cinnamon, so my mouth was numb. So it was like coming from I was like, oh my God, she's gonna think I kissed like a fish. So it's just, to be honest with you, you're just so nervous in the scene, which is good for the scene because you need that. But it's like there's just, it's all technical stuff.
What do you think? Carmelo Soprano here. That's why I'm making out with
No,
Carmelo.
I never really
No.
thought about that. It was just another act. She is so sweet too, and what made the experience really great for me is she's from one town over on Long Island where I grew up, so we had the same.
So you
kind of
connected right
childhood.
away.
Yeah, and we drank water from the same well, so we knew what. Like I make a joke about Dairy Barn, and she knew what that was.
Well, is it strange when you go on a set and next thing you know, you have a kissing scene?
It
with
is
this woman that you just started talking to and just started to work with.
Yeah, it's thank God that scene was a little further on. We got to meet everybody. But yeah, anytime you're thrown into those circumstances where you're supposed to have this back relationship when you meet somebody, it's a little awkward until the first couple of days, but then everything just kicks in.
Was it a stretch for you playing a New York cop?
No, I get. It's funny. I grew up with cops. One of my best friends is actually a detective sergeant now, so I know. And I'd played a cop before. I played a cop we did a show called The Job, which was on ABC.
I love that show.
So yeah, it was fun. So
half
I got
hour.
to play a cop. Yeah, half-hour show, but it was a great training ground to play policeman.
And then Rescue Me, one of my favorite all-time shows.
All fun to do.
Just so much fun.
And I got to play the chief.
Needles,
yeah, and that was fun because it was still Leary. It was my pals again, so it was nice to be back on the set again.
Well, Dennis took everybody from The Job over to Rescue Me, it seems like.
Dennis is like the skinny Irish Sinatra. You're in the Rat Pack, the phone will ring, we're getting a band back together, and we'd go do a tour or something. So it's
like
nice.
Springsteen, you don't know when he's going to tour, and suddenly he picks up the phone and he calls you, and you go running.
Okay, yeah, because it's so much fun. Leary, Lenny Clark.
Lenny Clark, is he still skinny?
Yeah, skinny Lenny. He's
Damn,
great,
man.
And it's nice to have that connection with those guys.
Is anything going to happen anytime soon? Does Dennis have anything brewing?
Dennis actually has a show called Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll that I think is airing this summer. So he's been working on that. And
Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll. What's it about?
It's about pretty much. It's about QVC. It's about selling things.
That's nice.
No, but that's coming out, and maybe I'll see him for Comics Come Home. That's in November. But we always stay in touch.
That's nice, man.
Yeah,
well, you're here at a rock station. We talked to Eddie Vedder the other day.
How's that?
Who was playing with The Who.
Wow.
At a benefit concert at the Rosemont Theater.
All right. So he's playing bass or drums?
No,
because
he's
they need
singing.
those two.
He's singing. Eddie's singing, giving Roger Daltrey a break, and he's playing with Pete Townsend. They're going to do Who tunes, and Joe Walsh is going to show up. Joan Jett's going to show up. It's a charity fundraiser.
That's great.
For the Who's
His
Teen
book
Cancer
is good.
Foundation.
Did you finish? I just finished Pete Townsend's book.
Really?
Yeah, it was really good.
I'm reading Jeremy Roenick's book right now.
Is it good?
It's great, man.
Did you read the Paul Stanley book?
I did not.
The Paul Stanley book was good.
I'm trying to keep up. It takes me forever to read a book. I'm one of those guys. I love reading, but I never have time.
Yeah.
When do you have time?
Well, planes always, for me, because I travel all the time, planes are good to get work done because you're in a tube.
Right.
So you got nothing else to do.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's always.
I mean, I'm in traffic. I drive from my house over to the Hancock. That's about it.
You get the books on tape. You got to get the Audible. We'll read you a book.
Adam Ferrara in studio with us. We have a few things in common. Number one, we were both class clowns in high school. I didn't know
Wow.
that. I looked that up today.
What a mess.
And I'm Lebanese. You're Italian. Somebody is cooking right now. There was somebody cooking
Someone's
in our
making
families.
something. Both our houses smell like garlic.
Exactly. Or onions. If I don't walk into my mother's house and it doesn't smell like onions, I know something is wrong.
Mom, home. Stir the sauce. It's going to stick.
Honey, don't forget to stir.
Yep. You have the lavash, and I have you have the thin flatbread.
Yes.
And I have the big Italian bread.
And-
Which is another thing I can't eat anymore is the bread.
And another thing we have in common is our love for cars. You hosted Top Gear for
Still
years.
do, yeah.
Yeah.
We're actually they're putting the schedules together for season 5, so I'm looking forward to coming
I mean,
back.
that is the biggest joke, seeing you in, some city, just having fun on
Just
Facebook.
ripping it up.
You post all your pictures on
Yeah.
Facebook, and here it is. We just raced this car today.
How great is it? I told you I got my Buick back, right?
Did you really?
It's back and running. I got a 1970 Deuce and a Quarter. It was the piano car that we used. If you watch the show, I put a grand piano on the roof of an Electra 225 and with a piano player, and I drove around with a piano player and a baby. That's how big the car was.
Those cars.
I got it. I bought the car. Well, I took the piano off and fixed the radio because that's why I put it up. I bought the car. I fixed the roof. I fixed the suspension. I just restored it. Magnaflow graciously put an exhaust in for me, so I got 2.5-inch pipe coming straight from the manifold, so it's got a nice growl
Where
to
do you
it.
drive the thing?
I drive it in California.
Really?
That's my daily driver. It's 18 feet 5 inches.
It's unbelievable.
I have to signal for a turn a week in advance.
Those cars are so big.
It's huge. I have 3 garages, Pete. It doesn't fit in any of them.
I mean, we've talked about this. I grew up with Cadillacs,
Yeah.
and the Sedan DeVille, the 1978. I remember. I mean, those are just big cars. The Eldorados, where
Sure.
we had a guy, the Costas in our neighborhood had like an early, maybe it was a Fleetwood, like an early '70s Fleetwood. It was 2 inches off the ground, but it was a tank.
Yeah. Yeah, I love driving that car, and I got my neighbors know when I started up because the exhaust blows out.
Oh, God.
And I painted it black cherry metallic because I live my life with a touch of funk, brother.
Really?
Yes, I
Black
do.
cherry. That's
Black cherry metallic.
That's really nice. What other vices do you have besides the car? I mean, not vices, but
Right.
what do you spend your money on?
I got a wife, so I don't really.
Who goes?
It just seems to go.
Who goes to Whole Foods?
I'm the one that goes. I actually go and do the shopping. I go when I'm home. I like to take care of the house, and I like to I'll go do. I put my headphones on and I'll go do the food shopping, and I drive the Buick there, and I
course.
park it in the lowest part in the back. They know I'm coming. The cheese lady knows me.
Of course.
And I go around and I do all that stuff. I have my list of stuff I can't eat and stuff I can eat.
Are you a good husband? I mean, do you do the laundry and the whole deal?
No, I don't do that. I do the shopping. She takes care of everything.
Why is that? Guys like to do shopping nowadays. I do the shopping in our house.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I put my headphones on, I disappear, and it's like I'm on my own. It's like I always take stuff out of the bulk items. No grazing. With the prices you charge, I'm eating while I do this. And then when you get up to Whole Foods, would you like to make a donation to feed the hungry? I'm the hungry. I'm the charity. You know how much you people are charging me? Now you want to soak me for more money? You're going to guilt me into more money? You gluten-free bandit?
Sometimes I feel like I'm being judged at Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel that way. It's like, this guy's an outsider. He should be shopping at Jewel. What's he doing here?
What is he doing looking for something fried?
Does he
animal.
recycle? I don't know that guy. Adam Ferrara, you can see him this weekend at the Improv. When does Top Gear start again?
We're trying to put the schedules together. Hopefully, we'll be in production soon. I think they want to air it. I heard a rumor the beginning of the end of the year or the beginning of next year, but we're going to start shooting them soon.
I mean, you can see the pictures on Facebook. Follow you on Facebook.
You can see the Buick, too. I got the Buick up there.
It's good to see you, man.
Always good to see you, Pete.